Hello, everyone. So I'm here today because I'd like to show you how to take your Bach flower remedies and how to prepare yourself a mixing bottle. And you'll see it's very simple. All you need really is water, spring water, and I've already put it in there. Okay. Some brandy that helps preserve your mixing bottle. And obviously the remedy bottles, the stock bottles that you find in the stores of the remedies that you'd like to take. So before we go ahead and show you how to prepare a mixing bottle, let's talk a little bit about the rescue, how to take the rescue. Rescue is 4 drops. All right, so you take 4 drops of the rescue directly from that bottle. You can take it directly on the tongue. You just want to be careful of not touching the glass dropper, right? So the glass dropper here needs to not come into contact with anything. If it does, you need to sterilize it in boiling water before putting it back in the bottle. So if it's a little tricky or you're not really confident putting the drops directly in your mouth, if you're afraid that it touches, what you can do is put the 4 drops of rescue in a little glass of water. All right, and that does the trick. And rescue, you can take it as much as you want, as often as you need it, until the anxiety or the stress or the emotional overload goes down. All right, and you feel better. All right, so now let's get to the fun part of preparing yourself a mixing bottle. So let's say, I'm going to give you an example. My own personal example is that I've decided to use walnut the past couple of weeks, simply because I found myself going back into old patterns, addictive behavior from the past that I was not happy about. And I've felt myself being influenced by my environment and people around me. Okay, so I felt that walnut would help me protect myself from outside influences. So what I did, I took walnut, and to do that, you can take 2 drops. So remember, 4 drops with the rescue, but it's only 2 drops from all the other remedies. All right, so 2 drops of walnut directly on the tongue. And again, if it gets a little scary, you don't want to touch the dropper, you can put 2 drops right here in a glass of water. And that I did 2 drops 4 times a day minimum, right? Sometimes, some days I would take it more often. Okay, and that's it. But then by taking walnut, some new awareness came up, and that's what the flowers do really. They help with your emotions. We'll do another video about that. But most importantly, what they do is they bring self-awareness. So as I was taking walnuts after a few days, I realized that I felt ashamed, a little disgusted about my behaviors. And I felt like almost I needed a cleanse because I was not happy with the way I was eating and a lot of things like this. And for that feeling came to my awareness crabapple, which is the cleansing remedy when we feel shame, self-disgust about some aspects of ourselves. So I decided to take those 2. So now when you want to take more than 1 remedy at a time, what you can do that's more economic, and that's the most important thing, and it's fun to prepare. You can prepare yourself a remedy bottle, a mixing bottle, and that's the fun part. So here it is. That's all you need really is a 30 milliliter amber bottle, glass dropper bottle, right? And as you see in there, I've put spring water to make it easier for the video, but you do want to use spring water, live water. You really want to avoid tap water. All right, so any spring water will do, really. So that's water here. What I did, you see, I left a little space here, a little room, because what I like to do is add a little brandy here just to help with preservation. Especially here in Florida, I live in Miami, it's so hot outside and cold inside. So this is not really good for the temperature changes. And I like to keep my bottle with me during the day. So when I put a little alcohol in it, it preserves it, right? And that way I can keep it longer. If you don't want to put any alcohol, no problem. No problem at all. Just use water, but then you will have to leave your bottle in the fridge. That's it. All right. So when you're done with this, water. I'm going to put the little brandy now. Doesn't really matter the order. You can do the brandy first. Water really doesn't matter. All right, here it is. And again, the quantity really doesn't matter much. About a teaspoon, more or less, or no brandy. Remember, keep it in the fridge if you don't put any alcohol. Then, and again, remember, same principle here. Be careful not to touch the glass dropper. All right? And now, come the rim. I'm used to do this, right? So, but at the beginning, it can feel a little awkward. You'll find a way. So this is walnut. So here it is. From the walnut stock bottle that you find in the store, I put 2 drops. That's it, guys. Only 2 drops in the mixing bottle, right? And then crabapple here. That's it. All right, we're done. So you close, be careful not to touch the dropper again. We gently shake and we're done. Really, we're done. What I like to do, you know, I make this those little cute labels. So what you can do is add a label, you know, so you know with the name of the flowers you're taking, so you know what you're working with. I like to do that. So that's it, guys. And from this, so I know it's only 2 drops, right? It's like, what? How does that work? Only 2 drops. And that's the beauty of it. I like to think of it, you know, of like the ocean and drops. So really the 2 drops from the ocean contain the same information that is contained in the whole ocean, right? So that's the nice way of for me to really think about it. And remember, in nature, less is more always. So also another really important tip, you can mix flowers. That's beautiful. And as I'm going to work with those 2, walnut and crabapple, probably most likely some new awareness is going to show for me, and I might need another flower remedy as emotion layers start to be revealed. You can add them to the mix. The only thing you want to be aware of, do not mix more than 6 to 7 remedies. Again, remember, less is more. I've had the most amazing and eye-opening moments with only 1 single remedy, right? So remember that. Less is more, all right? And now from that mixing bottle, you want to take 4 drops, all right? 4 times a day minimum, because it is vibration, right? Vibration medicine. You want to have it in your system on a regular basis to make sure that the vibration of the flowers work with your own vibration, right? Regularly. So ideally, you want to take your 4 drops first thing in the morning when you wake up, then again at bedtime, and at least 2 more times during the day. And also don't be too rigid about it. 4 times is the minimum, but eventually it kind of becomes an intuitive process. So, you know, whenever you feel you need your drops, take them, right? They're completely safe, not addictive, nothing can happen, nothing bad. Really, if those are not the right flowers for you, or if you didn't need those flowers after all, simply nothing will happen. All right. So I hope it was helpful, guys. So remember, sorry, I forgot that part. Same as with the rescue, 4 drops directly in the mouth if you're nervous of touching the glass dropper. And let's do it again. Here, 4 drops in your little water, and that's it. Done. Easy. All right, I will see you next time for another video. Don't hesitate to leave comments, and if there is anything else you'd like to know, please tell me. I'd be happy to share and do a little video about whatever subject you'd like about those flowers. All right, take care, everyone, and I'll see you when I'll see you. Bye-bye.